So I suffered through hours and hours of the FNT. As I expected, it was mostly garbage. One major cringe thing, and it wasn't minor or small, they kept coming back to this, and it's so absurd. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to reveal in Spider-Man fashion what exactly the cringe is. You have to hear it for yourself. I feel like Morpheus, you have to hear it to believe it. But again, listen, sometimes I'm with them when certain things are done too much or go too far, whatever it is, a radical shift or change. But here's the ironic thing. The thing they feared did not happen, but they were afraid it would happen. And they admit they were fearful X would happen. And you're like, why would you be afraid of this? And they kept coming back to the thing, I was so afraid they were going to do this thing. And I'm like, okay then. So let's hear them speak.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to do the pointing at each other thing. And so when they finally did it, it was handled in such a subtle, nice, funny, kind of organic way.
Yeah. You're number one, you're number two. But what I'll tell you what honestly worried me in the film, because it'd been like, there had been no wokeness, no identity politics. And then when Andrew and Toby were talking about who they've lost and whatnot, and then I was just like, oh no, one of them's going to come out as gay. I just thought, oh no, this is the moment of the film where they're just going to slip some fucking wokeness in, because it's like, well, I did have somebody.
Yeah, I know. I thought that too.
I was like, oh,
I thought that too. And I'm like, they're going to do it. And you know what? Any other film would have. To take the bag, and she goes, that bag was made by my wife. It was embroidered. My lesbian wife made this bag. Please don't take it. Please don't take it. I'm a lesbian, by the way, with a bag. It was so fucking trash. So
it was.
I felt the same fucking thing when I heard that, man. I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna say he's with Harry or somebody.
Me
he came back to life and they fell in love.
One thing.
What's very ironic and I find very distasteful is they keep insisting we don't hate it. We love the fans. We love all the fans. We don't judge the people. We don't judge people by those things. And every 3 seconds, I'm not joking, they keep going back to this particular thing. Now, granted, probably the anti-feminist thing that always gets brought up. So, to be fair, Gary mainly sticks to the intersection of feminism. That's his favorite, whatever, I don't know, like cow he has to keep slaying over and over again. But they really keep going back to this. Like, I was afraid, buddy. I was very afraid. They were going to insert, the thing. Listen, I have no issue with the thing itself. It's how it's done. So with Venom, it was really out there. I thought it was really stupid. So I was like, all right, that's dumb. The scene itself is energetic, but it's like, why even link this to the character? The symbiote is not this. But listen, if it turned out, or even Tom Holland, if they revealed that would be fine because they're human beings. It wouldn't be a story problem. It would be weird, granted. It's not canonical to the character. So in terms of the canon, I would say, yeah, that's a big issue. That was my main issue with Venom. But as a choice, well, it's like, well, okay, it's a little strange, but maybe it does make sense, again, within the context of the story. But they were preemptive, saying, oh no, they're going to do the thing. We're not going to have Kirsten. We're not going to have Spider-Man and MJ. We're going to have Spider-Man and the big. And I'm like, we don't even know that much about these characters. Clearly, their story has continued, whether or not it's been in this kind of relationship or that kind of relationship. They weren't even going to concentrate on this in this film. How could they? They don't have enough time. How would it work with the rules of the story? But they still bring it up, like, oh, they're going to do it. I knew them. They did it in the Hawkeye. They just inserted one of those people for no reason. Well, I agree with Hawkeye was pretty cringe. And when it is done that way, then yes. But what would make them even think, like, yeah, they're going to go down that route? I was so fearful. I'm with you. I was fearful too, buddy. Like, how? Why? What did... Because Toby was dressed like a priest? I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, what's funny to me is that they disagree on the Venom thing. They, oh, no, that was fine. So Venom doing a coming out speech is fine. But the possibility that Toby or Andrew would be, again, vocally, they wouldn't show anything. Even within this story, the probability of them showing anything explicit. Like, that's 0. But believe me, I'm like most normal people, when I saw them, I was like, oh, they're kind of, come through the portal. Oh, aren't you afraid? I mean, aren't you? With Venom, it was very explicit. It was very telegraphed. I thought it was jarring. I thought it was stupid. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. But if it's integrated into the story, plausible. Again, I may not like the idea. I think it may be overdone or it's becoming a cliche. But if it fits the story, whatever. I just honestly don't think it fit Venom very well. I understand people bring it. Oh, they do it in the comic. Again, within the limits. The canon can be changed, but within limits. So even if it's done in the comics, that's not a holy, sacred Bible. It's always going to be a balancing act. I mean, Kirsten Dunst is not really MJ, but I think they did a decent job trying to get close to the MJ character. So it'd be really surprising and shocking if they did go down this route, because it'd be like, well, what does that mean with the Kirsten character? But I wouldn't be upset politically. I'd be like, well, they turned, and now what about well, I'd be concerned with the story, but who cares about that aspect? But there you go. My main issue is when the story gets, really destroyed or interfered with. But I was like, not even knowing the full plot of No Way Home, I know, like, why would your mind go down this road? Very homophobic. They seem to keep going back to this. It seems to be constantly on their minds. So I don't know. To me, it seems like they just have issues. And whatever their issues are, well, hey, that's fine. But please stop bringing it to the film. It didn't happen. None of the major characters are this way. There's no hints the major characters were this way, even symbolically. So it's like, even when they're hugging, I'm like, they're just hugging one another. I don't know. I hope that he needs to stop this, really. Gary needs to really stop just with the panic all the time. It really is getting just now very, very strange. But yes, I'd agree. If it did happen, it would probably be strange. But it didn't happen. There was no hint it was happening, so I have no idea where they're going with this. I really don't. But there we are. More needless panic.